Yo, what's good, guys? It's Austin here, or Luna. Now, I have a pretty good story time for you today, in my opinion. Before we start that, I just want to say I have a Discord server. I don't think a lot of people know about it, and I think you should join it if you have a Discord. You should totally click that first link in the description and join my Discord. It's my public and personal Discord. I use it every single night and day to talk to my friends online, and I also use it to talk to my fans. Whenever I see fans in the public chat rooms just hanging out, I try and join as much as I can and say hello to them. So yeah, if you guys ever want to come hang out, I'll leave it first link in the description. Thank you guys for checking that out if you do. And anyway, this story time, in my opinion, is a pretty crazy one. Let's jump right into this. So this story time takes place in 9th grade, okay? Now, my 9th grade year started off fairly normal, but on the second month of 9th grade, something happened that would forever creep me out throughout the entirety of the year every time I'd see this kid. There was this kid in my math class in 9th grade. Let's just call this kid Carter, okay? Now, Carter was this, super quiet goth kid that would just kind of sit in the back of the room, not talk to anybody. He didn't really want to have to deal with anybody. And I think it was just a personal choice of his. Like, anytime someone would try and interact with him, he would kind of just blow him off or, give him a real short answer. And I didn't judge Carter for that at all because, honestly, I was a little bit of a loner myself from time to time throughout school, so I totally understand him wanting his space. But one day, everything changed between me and Carter. So this all starts off as a normal morning, okay? It was my second month of 9th grade. I went to my math class to start the day, and I sit down, and my teacher goes, "Hey, Austin, we're assigning new seats today." I'm like, "Oh, okay, where am I sitting?" He goes, "You're right there in the back left corner with Carter." I'm like, "Oh, okay." So I walked to the back of the room, I set my books down, I set my backpack down. Carter is already in class and sitting at that table. So he looks at me, and then I look at him. I just kind of give him a slight head nod, like a nice, hello head nod. And he gives me a head nod back. So that was good. That was a good sign. That was like a hey, what's up in Carter language. So, I was really happy about it. I was like, okay, good. Carter doesn't hate me. I didn't know what he thought of me. So I sit down at the table next to Carter, and I start working on whatever I was working on. And the whole first half of that class was completely normal, nothing out of the ordinary whatsoever. And then my teacher told us to break off into groups of 3. So I immediately wave over to my 2 friends on the other side of the room, and they wave back. And that was kind of like our way of saying, all right, we're pairing up, it's us 3. But then I look over at Carter, and he's just sitting in the chair with his arms crossed, looking kind of angry and upset. So I just ask him, I'm like, "Hey, Carter, do you want to come work with me in my group? Even though it's groups of 3, I'm sure we could sneak you in." And he was like, "Nah, it's good, bro. I'm gonna just listen to music, thanks." I'm like, "All right, man." So I get up and I walk over to my group of friends. I'm just kind of sitting with them. And we didn't do a lot of work. I can't lie. This class, we didn't do a ton of work. We were supposed to be working on something together. And we got maybe 1% of it done. So that wasn't good. So we stayed in our groups for about 30 minutes. And then we were nearing the end of class. So my teacher was like, "Okay, class, time to go back to your individual tables. Good work today." And everybody gets up and starts walking back to their tables, except my friend. My friend gets up and he follows me back to my table with Carter. And he sits down right between me and Carter. And I'm like, "Yo, what are you doing?" And he's like, "Dude, class ends in 5 minutes. I'm just going to sit here till it's over." And I'm like, "All right, man, whatever you say." So we're just sitting there, and Carter looks pissed. I don't think he was happy that my random friend sat down in between us and was just sitting next to Carter now. I think Carter enjoyed the fact that I was kind of quiet, and my friend talked a lot. So Carter definitely, most likely, did not like my friend. So it was 2 minutes before class ends, and my teacher notices that my friend's sitting at our table. And my teacher looks at him and is like, "Hey, what are you doing? Why are you not at your assigned table? Get away from Austin and Carter's table." And my friend's like, "Well, I just want to sit here till class was over." And my teacher's like, "Yeah, I get it, but you gotta go to your assigned table." And he gets up and he starts walking back to his table. And everyone's just silently watching my friend walk back to his table on the other side of the room. And out of nowhere, my friend starts crumbling up this piece of paper as he's walking that he was holding. And in front of everybody, including the teacher, he just throws it full speed at me. But the worst part is he misses and he hits Carter. Carter had his head down on the desk. He was just resting there, and he hit Carter right in the back of the head full speed with a crumbled up piece of paper. And no joke, not even a second later, Carter's head pops up and he jumps up onto his feet. And he's like, "Who the fuck just did that?" And he looks at me and he goes, get up right now." And everybody was silent. The whole fucking room was caught off guard by this reaction. And he looks at me and Carter's like, "What was that? Would you just throw at me? A piece of paper?" I'm like, "Dude, I didn't throw a piece of paper at you. It hit you from the left side. I'm on your right, man. How would I throw it like that?" And he goes, "I don't care. I don't like you. I don't like your friend. I'll fight you both right now. Let's go." And he gets up in my face. Now, with how quickly Carter got that angry, I'm assuming 1, he was either having a really bad day, or 2, he just has a very short temper, or both. I don't know. But what happens next is what really just threw me off guard in this whole story time, okay? So my teacher chimes in. My teacher's like, "Hey, guys, knock it off. We don't fight in this classroom. We don't fight in this school. You don't fight, period. It's not the answer." Carter, Austin didn't throw anything at you, so stop trying to blame him for it. I know who threw it at you. We all saw it. And he points at my friend and goes, you get 1 day of lunch attention for throwing that piece of paper. And my friend's like, damn. And my friend sits down. And Carter just sits back down. He looks pissed. He's so red in the face. Like, he looks so mad. So, like, 30 seconds later, the bell rings. And it's finally time to get the hell out of this class. So I stand up, I grab all my stuff pretty quick, and I walk out into the hallway, just heading towards my next class. And, of course, as I'm walking, I feel a tap on my shoulder. And I turn around, and Carter is walking right next to me. And he still looks really, really, really pissed. And I look over at him. I'm like, what's up, Carter? Like, why are you following me? He's like, listen, man, I want to talk to you about last class. I'm like, what about? He's like, bro, I don't care who threw that. You need to tell your friend to fucking knock it off, or else I'm going to beat both of your asses. So I'm like, Carter, I sat there and did nothing. Why do you want to fight me over it? And his logic was, you're friends with that kid who threw the paper, which means you planned it with him together. Like, you guys both had that planned. And I'm like, Carter, no, we didn't. I didn't plan that with him. He just got up and did it. I don't know why he did. He's an idiot. Now, this is when shit just got terrifying. So after I say this, Carter looks me in the eyes and just starts speaking in tongues. I don't even know what he said. I can't repeat it because I didn't know what it was. It wasn't English. It wasn't a language I've ever heard before. He starts speaking in legit tongues. And I'm like, yo, what are you doing? And he just keeps going for like a solid 30 seconds. He just says like this whole paragraph in some language I've never heard before. And he turns around and just walks away after that. So I run up to him. I'm like, yo, Carter, what in the actual hell did you just say? And he goes, oh, you'll see. Enjoy your karma, Austin. And I'm like, what? Enjoy my karma? Carter, did you just put a curse on me or something? Like, what'd you just say? And he starts laughing and walks away from me. So at this point, I'm actually a little bit scared. This man just basically put a curse on me in the middle of school. Like, realistically, I wasn't taking it very seriously. Like, I was just kind of confused as to what he meant when he said all that stuff. But, like, I've never seen someone look me in the eyes with such seriousness and then speak in, like, tongues for a whole paragraph and then say, enjoy your karma. Like, I was just standing there in the middle of that hallway just thinking, like, wow, I think the goth kid just put a curse on me. So I run up to my friend in the hallway. I'm like, yo, Carter just came up to me and spoke in a language I've never heard before in my life and then said, enjoy your karma. I think he just tried to put a curse on me. And my friend starts dying laughing. He's like, dude, no way. I'm like, yeah, man. And he's like, man, I'd actually be scared. Good luck. I'm like, thanks, dude. So I go through that whole day. The rest of the day was pretty normal. Nothing weird happened. You know, no ghosts spawned out of the walls and then took me into hell. It was pretty normal. But the next day, I walk into school, and first thing on the announcements, I hear my name get called to go up to the main office. So I go up there, and I go into the principal's office, and Carter's sitting there with my principal, and I'm thinking to myself, like, oh, no, here we go. And I sit down with Carter and my principal goes, Austin, I heard you and Carter had a little altercation in first period yesterday. I was like, yeah, we did. And my principal goes, look, both of you guys got to learn to get along. You sit next to each other in first period. You can't be fighting here. You can't be fighting at all. You guys got to learn to like each other, or at least put up with each other until the end of the year. And I'm like, look, I'm trying. I was trying to be nice to him, but he pulled me aside in the hallway and started speaking in tongues, and he put some curse on me. And my principal goes, a curse? Austin, what are you talking about? And Carter's staring at me, smiling. And I'm like, look, he's smiling at me. This dude came up to me yesterday, pulled me aside, spoke like a whole paragraph in some language I've never heard before, and then said, enjoy your karma when I asked him about it. Like, he dead-ass tried to put some curse on me. And my principal goes, Carter, I don't know what you do outside of school, but you can't come here and mess with people like that. That's not okay. And Carter goes, okay, I'm sorry. I was just, doing what I do best. And I'm like, yeah, what's that? And he goes, scaring people. I'm like, okay, well, mission accomplished. So yeah, after that, me and Connor got sent back to first period, and the rest of that class was pretty normal, and the rest of that day was pretty normal. And me and Connor, for the most part, throughout that year, were fine. Nothing too weird happened after that. We did have one little situation, but maybe that's for another story time. Either way, Connor must have lifted the curse on me that day or something, because I'm still here, and I think I'm all good. Connor, if you're watching this, don't reinstate the curse, please. But yeah, I just thought this story time was just crazy and funny. I thought you guys would enjoy it. If you did enjoy this story time, please leave a like on the video. I'd really appreciate it. Feel free to leave your story times in the comments down below, and subscribe if you're new. I'll see you all later. Peace. Like what's up? They leave me out for the dead, and now they know